If you want to change your weight or lose fat, do you know what TDEE is? Total Daily Energy Expenditure is an acronym, and it's probably the most important piece of information you'll need to create the results that you're looking for. You see, the greatest variable when it comes to body composition change is energy balance. Eat more calories than you burn and you'll gain weight. Eat less calories than you burn and you'll lose weight. Match your calories in versus your calories out and you'll maintain weight. You see, the starting point for any successful body composition change is to start with how much energy you burn. It's very hard to know whether you need to go up or down in calories or energy until you know where you are to begin with. So where to start? First thing is you're going to need to know your total daily energy expenditure, known as TDEE, which is how much energy or calories you burn in any given day. That's made up of 4 components. The first one being BMR, or basal metabolic rate, at 70%. From there, it's NEAT, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's at 15%. Then we've got our thermic effect of food, which is 10%, known as TEF. And finally, our exercise activity thermogenesis, known as EAT, and that's at 5%. So if you see there, basal metabolic rate is the first 70%. From there, what makes up our physical movement is our NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and our exercise activity thermogenesis at 5%, 20% total. And then finally, the thermic effect of food. Basal metabolic rate, or BMR, at 70%. This is essentially the energy that you take or burn just at rest. This is for the healthy function of your vital organs and things like that, like your liver and brain and so on. This is for the regeneration of your fat-free mass and like your muscle, tissue, skin, hair, nails and so on. One of the best ways to increase your BMR is to build muscle. This allows you to burn more calories all the time, beyond your workouts, because workouts or exercise activity thermogenesis only factors to 5%, with your BMR equaling 70%. Keep in mind, especially when looking to lower body fat or lose weight, that overly restricted diets and overuse of cardio without consideration of strength training can lead to a loss in muscle mass, in turn negatively affecting your BMR. As BMR accounts for so much of the energy that we burn, and especially in consideration for those looking to lose weight or lower body fat, it is very important to prioritize preserving, if not building, lean muscle mass. This is going to help optimize your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, and in turn make it a lot easier to follow your daily intake targets. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis, known as NEAT, at 15%. This is all the physical movement you do outside of your workouts. This might be from typing to fidgeting to cooking to cleaning. Even your muscle flexion and holding your posture are all examples of NEAT. You see, simply increasing your daily steps can have a huge impact on your NEAT and in turn the calories you burn. We see often people who overemphasize conditioning of their workouts or over diet restrictively will actually start to see a decrease in their NEAT, all right? They actually start to move less outside of their workouts or have essentially less energy for the day. That might see them essentially fidgeting or moving less. That might see them even feeling a little bit colder or even having a lower libido as their body tries to balance out the energy that it's missing. To maximize your NEAT, we generally recommend 10,000 steps or more per day. If someone's looking to lose weight, we generally recommend no more than a 20% deficit. And when it comes to exercise, we always say to prioritize strength because that has a greater effect not just on your exercise activity thermogenesis, but your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and of course your basal metabolic rate as well. Thermic effect of food, known as TEF, at 10%. Think digestion, absorption, and disposal of the food that you eat. Consider that a calorie isn't a calorie. Now, that sounds confusing. What I want you to consider is when you look at a packet and it says a certain amount of calories on it. Now, yes, that could be somewhat accurate, maybe, but the problem is it's only part of the equation. You see, each macronutrient has a different thermic effect. For example, when you consume a calorie of protein, carbs, or fats, with protein, it takes 20 to 25% simply to digest or break down that calorie. With carbohydrates, it takes 5 to 15%. And with fats, it takes 0 to 5%. As you can see here, that each food group has a different thermic effect, even though the calories on the packet may be the same. Keep in mind as well that protein has a higher level of satiety, keeping you fuller for longer. Also, how the food was cooked, if it's processed, how fresh it is, will all have an impact on the thermic effect. Now, it's important to consider protein in your diet, and we generally recommend about 32%. And that's especially important when creating a calorie deficit in order to lose fat or lose weight. That in turn allows us to maximize our basal metabolic rate by regenerating all the good stuff. Yes, we recommend following a calorie target when starting your body composition journey. But very quickly, we want to go beyond confusing numbers and calculating what our meals are, and instead understand how foods are affecting us, how our choices are leading to greater results. In turn, monitoring things like our satiety and our hunger, our energy and our mood, and how those choices are making us feel in order to get the best results possible. And finally, exercise activity thermogenesis, known as EAT, at 5%. This is essentially those workouts. This is the training. It's funny, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, I own a gym, and yet I'm highlighting the fact that this is only 5% of the equation when it comes to your total daily energy expenditure. And that's because you really can't out-exercise a bad diet. I always want people to prioritize their nutrition and lifestyle, even before considering the final 5% with their workouts. And when it comes to workouts, we recommend not just focusing on the calories that you burn within the session, because this is only 5% of the whole equation, but focusing on workouts that allow you to optimize your BMR and help you burn more energy, not just within the session, but beyond. We recommend monitoring things like your stress, your sleep, your lifestyle, and obviously how you're eating in order to move you towards your fitness goals. Therefore, when considering your workouts, we often recommend starting with a foundation of strength in order to optimize your BMR and negate some of the negative effects of overtraining or over-dieting. Team that with obviously solid nutrition and lifestyle habits with that foundation of strength, and then feel free to sprinkle in some conditioning for good measure. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Some of the key takeaways is the greatest way to change your weight will be with nutrition. The greatest way to change what that weight is made of will be with your training. And finally, the greatest way to make sure that you can sustain any of the changes you make is with your lifestyle. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Peace.